Hi, my dear friends. Welcome back to another class of SQL. And in this class, we are going to see the concept of trigger. Okay. So first of all, let us activate our main database. That is class 2. Hit the execute button after selecting line number 1. Now, what is a trigger? As you can see, I've written here. It is used for automation, where it sets up an action by triggering an event. So trigger is actually a mechanism in SQL via which we have to trigger some sort of event so that we can accomplish some sort of action. And this is mainly used for automation purposes in SQL. Okay, automation like performing some sort of operation or some sort of event in a table, and ultimately via that you will be able to set up some action in some other table without even going to that table. That's what a trigger does. So it is a mechanism via which we can trigger some event. Ultimately, after triggering that event, we can accomplish or we can perform some sort of action that will be our final goal. So to understand the concept of trigger, let us create some hypothetical tables consisting of hypothetical values. So create table components, and here we give comp underscore id. It stands for component id. Okay. Data type is char and length is 4. Similarly, comp underscore name, that is for component names, and data type is varchar and length is 20. Then comp underscore cost, that is component costs, and data type is integer. So in this table we will have components inserted, and they will have their corresponding id values, they will have their corresponding name values, and they will have their corresponding cost values also. Okay. uh, just let us assume that I'm creating these tables for a particular shop owner. There is a shop, and there is the shop owner who is managing the inventory, purchase, sales, everything of this particular shop. So how that is going to affect, how that person will basically manage the inventory of that particular shop. Okay. So next, go to line number 8. Create this another table, that is create table components underscore available. So in this table it will basically display the records for stock, how many stocks of components of are left, how many components are available in the particular shop. So it's kind of a stock kind of a table. Okay. So comp underscore id, that stands for again component id, just like this one only, same thing. That's why data type is same, char, and the length is 4. Then comp underscore avail, it means how components availability. Data type is integer. So this will be your, so let us select lines 5 to 6 and create this table. Commands completed. Then select lines 8 to 9, hit the execute button, commands completed. Then if you look at line number 11, create table components underscore order. So this will be your this table will be basically for your order table. Like when the components are ordered from a particular shop, then how will that reflect the inventory, how many components are left, and how many orders are placed. Those things will be reflected here. So here you have this field name comp underscore ord underscore id. So when a component is ordered, then against that order you will have some id. Okay, that's what it stands for. When a component is ordered from the shop, then that order will have a corresponding id value. So that's what it means. Comp underscore ord underscore id. Data type is char, length is 4. Then the next one is same, this one, just like here, comp underscore id, comp underscore id, same here, comp underscore id. There is the component id, and data type is char, length is 4. And then here you have comp underscore ord underscore qtty, components ordered quantity. How many components have been ordered? That's what it means. What are the quantities of components ordered? Okay. Data type is integer. So select lines 11 to 12 and hit the execute button. There you go. Now let us insert some values. Okay, like if you see in our components table, what are the main fields? Component ID, that is comp underscore ID, component name, that is comp underscore name, then component cost, that is comp underscore cost. So against these, some values need to be inserted. So these are the values inserted. We know how to insert into tables, insert into components, then give values. Then within the brackets, you have to give like C with C hash hash one. This stands for what? This stands for your component ID, COMP underscore ID. Okay. Then the value for the next field, here it is washing machine. Washing machine will fall under this field, COMP underscore name, that is component name. And then here you have this integer value 10,000, which will fall under this field COMP underscore cost, that is component cost. Okay, component cost. So the first row is for washing machine. Okay, and what is the component here? Mainly it is washing machine. What is the component ID for washing machine? C hash hash one. What is the price of the washing machine? 10,000, where washing machine is the component. Okay, then similarly, we can insert values in subsequent rows for other components like C hash hash 2. This will be this will fall in the second row under this field COMP underscore ID for components table. And what is the component name here? I've given refrigerator. So refrigerator will fall under COMP underscore name component name. Then here you have the price or the cost of the component, which is for COMP underscore cost, component cost. It is 15,000. So the second row is for refrigerator, which is my component name, which is my main component in the second row, and the ID, component ID, that is refrigerator. The ID for refrigerator is C hash hash 2, and the cost is 15,000. Similarly, we can insert some other values like here the third component that will be entered into this table will be split AC. And what is the component ID for this component split AC? C hash hash 3. And the component cost is 22,000. So 22,000 is the component cost. Which component? Split AC. And then in the fourth row, C hash hash 4, it will fall under the COMP underscore ID, that is component ID. For which component? Microwave, which is your component name. Okay, so this is my fourth component. And what is the component cost here for microwave? 8,000. And then you go to the last row, and here I have entered the component ID, that is COMP underscore ID value for the fifth product, which is C hash hash 5. When what is the product here? That is what is the component here? Laptop. And what is the price? 73,000. 73,000. So these are again some hypothetical values that I've inserted into this hypothetical table. Select all these lines, hit the execute button, all rows are entered. Okay, now similarly, let us insert some values into this table components underscore available. Okay, that is how many components are there in the stock. How many components are available in the shop, or you can say how many components are available in the stock. Give the values, and here you see C hash hash 1 comma 80. C hash hash 1 is for which component? It is for washing machine, and comma 80 means number of stocks available for washing machine is 80. Okay, 80 washing machines are available. Number of washing machines available is 80. And how can I identify it? Using this C hash hash 1. See, here also C hash hash 1, here also C hash hash 1. And if you look at the fields, then for components underscore available field, components underscore available table, the fields are COMP underscore ID and COMP underscore avail. This COMP underscore ID is common for all the three tables, which is used to identify which component. And for that, the identifier is COMP underscore ID, so as to identify which component. Okay, so 80 will fall under which field? COMP underscore avail. That means COMP underscore avail means components available. So 80 components are available with respect to washing machine. That means 80 washing machines are available. Then give comma and then enter the value for the next row. C hash hash 2 comma 90. It means that 90 refrigerators are available there, are available in the stock. 90 refrigerators are available in the stock. How can you say it's a 90 refrigerators are available in the stock? How can you say that it is a refrigerator? By using this C hash hash 2. Okay, C hash hash 2, C hash hash 2. This C hash hash 2 basically identifies that, yeah, the component is nothing, but main component is nothing but your refrigerator. And how many refrigerators are available in the stock? 90 refrigerators are available. Then enter the value for the third row, C hash hash 3, comma 84. C hash hash 3 will fall under COMP underscore ID, component ID, and 84 will fall under COMP underscore avail, that means components available. So C hash hash 3 will identify which product na split AC. That means 84, there are 84 split ACs available in the stock. Okay, then enter the value for the next row, C hash hash 4, comma 78. So C hash hash 4 will be in the fourth row under which field? COMP underscore ID, that means component ID, and comma 78. 78 will fall under which field? COMP underscore avail, that means components available. So which product am I talking about? C hash hash 4. If you go to this table, it corresponds to microwave. That means 78. 78 microwaves are available in the stock. And then let's enter the last row and give the value C hash hash 5, comma 92. And C hash hash 5 corresponds to which product? Laptop. That means 92. 92. Here, C hash hash 5 will fall under CMP underscore ID, that means component ID, and 92 will fall under COMP underscore avail, that means components available. So C hash hash 5 corresponds to which particular product? Laptop. Okay, that means 92 laptops are available in the stock. Now insert and I mean select these two lines 21 and 22, hit the execute button. These are inserted. Now let us place some order. Let us place some order. Okay, insert into components underscore order values, and then here you have to give the corresponding values. Let us go once to this components underscore order table. Here you see the first field was COMP underscore ord underscore ID. That is when a particular order is placed for a particular product and with its components, then a corresponding ID will be provided for that order ID for a component. I mean, for a product also you can say, and how many components will be generated or how many components will be ordered, that also we can place in this table. Then COMP underscore ID is common for all the three tables, component ID, and COMP underscore ord underscore QTTY is the component ordered quantity. That means how many components of a product are, will be ordered for sales. So I suppose a customer wants to buy from the particular shop. So let us insert into components underscore order values r hash hash 1. R hash hash 1 is the order ID. R hash hash 1 is the order ID for this particular field. COMP underscore ord underscore ID. So when a component is ordered, when a component or a product is ordered, then corresponding to that you will have an order ID which is r hash hash 1. And now with respect to which component, that is with respect to which product, so here you have to give that identifier C hash hash 1, which is what? COMP underscore ID. COMP underscore ID. This is the second field for this table, components underscore order. Now COMP underscore ID, the COMP underscore ID is C hash hash 1. It corresponds to which component or which product? Washing machine. Okay, comma 60. 60 is nothing but how many components are to be ordered, how many number of components are to be ordered? 60. If you remember, the third field is COMP underscore ord underscore QTTY is for how many number of components to be ordered. QTTY short form, and it is QTTY mainly stands for quantity. So how many quantities of components, how many number of quantities of components of a particular product will be ordered? So it is 60. That means 60 washing machines, isn't it? C hash hash 1, C hash hash 1 corresponds to washing machine. And this 60 basically means that 60 components of washing machine. That means 60 washing machines are to be ordered from the particular shop. How many washing machines are available? 80. How many washing machines are to be sold? 60. Okay. So remainder should be 20. 80 are there in the stock, out of which 60 will be taken out as order has been placed. So if 60 are taken out, then ultimately how many number of components will be available for washing machine? 80 minus 60, that is 20. That's what I've written here in this particular comment line. Okay, that placing an order for 60 quantities of washing machines. Accordingly, the components underscore available table should be updated with respect to washing machine, where 80 minus 60 is equals to 20. Washing machines should be now left. Okay, and let us insert this. Let us insert this and hit the execute button. One row affected. Now select asterisk from components underscore order table and select asterisk from components underscore available table. So let us see. You see the first this is the output query for this particular table, components underscore order. Order has been placed. The values are inserted r hash 1, c hash 1, and 60. Okay, and the second and the this particular output query, this output is generated with respect to this particular table, components underscore available. C hash 1 is the one, isn't it? C hash 1 is the one that the sales has been placed against. It is still showing 80. Logically speaking, it should have been 20, but did this happen? It didn't happen, isn't it? We did place the order for washing machines, 60 washing machines to be ordered from the shop. That means 60 will be dispatched out, and 80 minus 60 is 20. How many components should be available in the, or how many number of washing machines should be left in the stock? 20, but it is not showing that. It is still 80. So here is where we need the mechanism of trigger. Okay, trigger is such kind of a concept or mechanism which will ensure that as soon as 60 washing machines are ordered, then automatically here the value will be updated, which should be 20. So let us see how we can use that. So let us first delete this particular row from the components underscore order table. Okay, now how to set up or how to create a trigger. See, the command is create trigger. Okay, create trigger. If you follow line number 35, then give some trigger name. I have given here my underscore trig on the table where you want to, where the table where you want to perform some sort of event. And the table that I've selected here is components underscore order. For then you have to give this keyword for, then for which event you have to specify. It is for the insert event. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here, insert is the event triggered which will happen on the components underscore order table. Okay, so as soon as what is the event here? Insertion is the event. What kind of insertion? Order insertion, because we will have to insert some sort of order into this particular table, components underscore order. And finally, when that event is triggered, insertion event, that will be, triggered on the components underscore order table, then automatically action will be also set up on which table? On components underscore available table, where the components availability will be updated. So let us see how that happens. So here you have to give command for, that is keyword for you have to use, then the event that you are trying to trigger here. Okay, that event is insert, and then as keyword you have to use, then begin keyword you have to use, and end keyword you have to use. Between begin and end keywords you will have to place your query. Okay, here it is the update query. So create trigger, this command you have to give some trigger name, my underscore trig, then on which table, components underscore order table, and for which kind of event, because you're using a trigger. Trigger, as I told you earlier, trigger is used to trigger an event so that an action can be completed. Action is the final goal. An action can be ultimately performed, but that can only happen when an event is triggered. So via triggering an event only we can accomplish a particular action or perform a particular action, but that can only happen after we trigger some sort of event. Then only we can accomplish the goal, which is nothing but the action, where action is my main goal. As keyword you have to use, begin keyword you have to use, end keyword after that, and between begin and end we have to write the query. Okay, update query. So what update? Now update components underscore available. So you have to update this table components underscore available. And set, we know that when you are using the update, then along with update you have to use the set keyword. Set CUMP underscore avail. CUMP underscore avail means components availability is equals to CMP underscore avail, that means components underscore availability, minus, then within brackets, select CUMP underscore odd underscore CQTTY from inserted. Okay, and where COMP underscore ID is equals to select COMP underscore ID from inserted. Ultimately this will be my action. Ultimately this will be my action. Previously we were inserting order into the order table, but no action was being performed. Action was to update automatically the components availability in the components underscore available table. That was not happening, but here the action will be completed because here we are using trigger. So here is where the action will be completed. As I've written here, action is to update the components underscore available table. What will be updated? This particular field will be updated CUMP underscore avail, that is how many components are available. This particular field will be updated. So it is equals to CMP underscore avail, which will be definitely taken from this particular table. Okay, minus within brackets select CUMP underscore odd underscore quantity, that is QTTY. We know that this particular field belongs to the orders table. Okay, anyways, from then here we are placing this name inserted. We are not placing the table name of the orders. This was the name of the orders table, components underscore order. We are not using that here. Why? I will tell you. Where COMP underscore odd, where COMP underscore ID. So this COMP underscore ID is component ID. It will be again taken from this particular table, components underscore available, is equals to select CMP underscore ID. So component ID. It will be selected from which table? From inserted. We have not created any kind of separate table named as inserted. Okay, and we will not do that also. We'll just simply write an insert query. Okay, so let us select lines 35 to 42 and hit the execute button. Commands completed successfully. Trigger is now created, which is my underscore trig. Now let us insert that particular order into the components underscore order table. So insert into components underscore order same values that we previously used. R hash hash 1, that will fall under the order ID of the components underscore order table. C hash hash 1, that will fall under the COMP underscore ID, that is component ID. And this one is 60, that will fall under COMP underscore odd underscore QTTY. COMP underscore odd underscore QTTY, that is how many number of components or how many quantities of components ordered, that is 60. And C hash hash 1 corresponds to washing machine. So 60 washing machines are to be ordered from the shop. Okay, so that's how this order will be placed. Now inherently, once you create this kind of a trigger, and then after you have created the trigger and executed, then if you put this sort of a query, insert query, this is an insert query. Okay, and inside the trigger I have mentioned the event. What is the event? Insert event. Then inherently inside SQL, this particular query, it will generate a table, and that table inherently will be known as the inserted table. Okay, we know that whenever we do this insert into components underscore order values R hash hash 1 comma C hash hash 1 comma 60, definitely this entire row will go into the components underscore order table, but inherently an inserted table will be also created, consider, and that will be having these values. So this query will ensure that the values are inserted into components underscore order table, but inherently inside the SQL, this will be also basically taken as the inserted table, or it will be interpreted as the inserted table. Okay, so what will happen here? Select COMP underscore odd underscore QTTY from inserted. So inherently it will come, the SQL will come down here. Okay, from inserted. So this entire query here will not only ensure that the values are inserted into the components underscore order table, but inherently this will be interpreted as inserted table also. And this inserted table, inherently, you won't see it physically outside, inherently it will be created. It will have these same values, and it will have the same fields as that of components underscore order table. Okay, so it will come to the inserted, it will come to the inserted, that means it will come here, and it will select what? It will select comp underscore odd underscore qtty, which is what? Which is this 60 only, isn't it? So this 60 will be picked up from here as 60 quantities are ordered, and that will come down here. Okay, so this entire query, this entire statement, select comp underscore order underscore qtty from inserted, this will yield what? It will yield 60. So 60 will come here. Okay, if I write in the comment 60. Okay, now comp underscore avail, components available. It is in which table? Components underscore available table. Okay. How will this be selected? It will be selected when you go to line number 41 and see where comp underscore id. This comp underscore id will be selected from this table, components underscore available table. We have seen in the update commands and all previously, is equals to comp select comp underscore id from inserted. So again it will come to this inserted, and inherently internally this is only what my inserted table looks like, inherently internally, where it will have the same values as that of components underscore order and same fields as that of components underscore order. So comp underscore id will be selected from inserted, and comp underscore id is what? C hash hash 1. So here select comp underscore id from inserted, it will yield what value? It will yield C hash hash 1. So here comp underscore id will become what? Comp underscore id, it will become your C hash hash 1. So update this table, components underscore available table, set comp underscore avail is equals to comp underscore avail minus what is the value here? 60. And comp underscore id value will be what? Comp underscore id value is nothing but your C hash 1. So SQL database engine will go to the components underscore available table, that is here. Okay, and that is not, it will go to this particular table, components underscore available, where the values have been inserted, and it will look for what at first? C hash hash 1, because that's what comp underscore id stands for. The value has been selected there. Comp underscore id is equals to C hash hash 1. So SQL database engine will come to components underscore available table, and C hash hash 1 will be identified. Okay, it corresponds to what? It corresponds to washing machine. Anyways, and what value will be picked up from this table? There are only two fields in this table. One is your comp underscore id, and another one is comp underscore avail, isn't it? One is your comp underscore id, and another one is your comp underscore avail. So comp underscore id, component id has been identified, C hash hash 1, and accordingly what value will be picked up here? The comp underscore avail, that is components availability value, will be picked up, which is what? Which is 80. Okay, so C hash hash 1 will be located from this table, components underscore available, and against this what is the value under comp underscore avail? That value is your 80. So 80 will be picked up, that is in place of component of comp underscore avail. Okay, comp underscore avail will be selected from this particular table, components underscore available, and the value for comp underscore avail is nothing but your 80. So ultimately what it will become? 80 minus 60 is equals to 20. So now the action will be completed on the components underscore available table, where comp underscore avail will become is equals to 20. Automatically gets updated as soon as an order is placed. Okay. So let us, select lines 44 to 45 and hit the execute button. You see one row affected, and then again one row affected. This one, that means there are two tables where one row each are being affected. Okay, that means both in this table, that is components underscore order table, your one row is affected, and for this components underscore available table also one row has been affected. So let us see. Select lines 47 to 48 and hit the execute button. This one, line 47, is select asterisk from components underscore order. So yeah, for this order table, the corresponding order values placed. Okay, the entire row has been placed in this components underscore order table, and then select asterisk from components underscore available has also generated its corresponding output. You can see CMP underscore ID, CMP underscore avail, and you see C hash hash 1 is for washing machine. Now what is the value? 20. Previously, the value was still staying at 80 even after 60 quantities of washing machines being ordered. And that value of availability in the stock for washing machines for CSS for C hash 1 was not getting updated in the components underscore available table. But now you can see it has been successfully updated. Okay. So that's it for this class, and I hope you, my dear friends, you have enjoyed this class. And if you have any doubts, you can leave them in the comments. If you have liked the video, you can hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and press the bell icon for notifications. So thank you.